I'm a Brit and I love the NHS. Now I live in America, I have to get used to the American healthcare system. Stay tuned to hear my thoughts and opinions on this system. Hello and welcome back. Today I thought I would discuss a bit about the difference that I found between the NHS and the American healthcare system. Now I have different experiences. I have occasions when I've had travel insurance. I've had occasions when I've had just medical insurance here in the US, and I've had no insurance at all. So first off, I should say that I do love the NHS. I know it has many flaws and many problems, but I am a big advocate for the National Health Service. My first experience with the American healthcare system was when I visited there about 7 years ago, and I had travel insurance. So I purchased the travel insurance back home in the UK, and then I travelled over. While I was here, I had to go to the ER, so we went and I gave over all my details and I didn't pay anything out of pocket at that time. They treated me and I got medication and I went. When I got back to the UK, I then filed the claim and I paid my deductible, which was between £20 and £30, and that was the end of it. So for that experience, it was quite good because I went to the emergency room and I didn't pay anything out of pocket at the time, and then just had to file the claim with my own travel insurance company. So now I live in the USA, I have to get used to the US healthcare system, and it is very different to the National Health Service. And so far, I'm not a fan. And the reason that is because we are currently paying back an emergency room bill when I had to attend the emergency room without insurance. We had the cards that came through in the post, and we handed over those details. The next day, we had a phone call to say that we were not covered for that trip to the emergency room, and we would therefore end up having the bill for it. Bearing in mind that you don't just get the bill from the visit to the emergency room, the physician's bill as well, and you get any type of testing that you've had, any blood tests, any ultrasounds, anything like that. And it was just a misunderstanding between us and when we were getting our insurance. And at the end of the day, I would have still had to go to the emergency room even if we knew that we didn't have it. Because as it happened, 3 days after my first visit, we had to return knowing that we did not have insurance and that we would end up paying out of pocket. I just don't need the reminder every month of, can you please pay a few $100s this month please, because this is your bill for the emergency. The second time we went, I was just panicking the whole time. I just said, when they took my bloods, I said to my husband Zeb, I said, how much is this costing? Because I don't want them to do anything that they don't need, anything that is not necessary. If they can test my blood for one thing to show what they needed to, do one test. Do not test their blood for anything more, because I knew we were having to pay. And that is not right, in my opinion. That problem just does not happen in the UK. You go to the accident and emergency, or the walk-in centres, your doctors, you never have to pay. I've discussed a little bit about having travel insurance and my experience with that, and having no insurance at all. So now it's healthcare. We currently have healthcare through my husband's employment, and I think a lot of people do have it like that, but I don't know any statistics, I don't know any further information, but that's how I know it. And I know there is money that comes out of my husband's paycheck every month that goes towards healthcare. We then have a copay. So whenever we visit a doctor or an ER or any other medical services, there is an amount that we pay every single time, and it's minimal. It's not, I shouldn't grumble about it. So that's the copay, and I think we have a deductible, which means how much we're going to pay throughout the whole year. But then there's some services that are covered, some that aren't, and then your insurance pays some and you pay some. So I don't know the full details, but I know that we pay a copay and there is a deductible. So I do not like having to pay any money to the doctor when I go and see them, but not as much as no insurance. But healthcare in the UK, you don't have to pay, you don't have to produce an insurance card, you don't even have to give your national insurance card over. You just go and see a doctor, no questions asked, no money paid. So currently we are seeing what will be classed as a specialist, and not all of the services they are providing us are going to be covered, so we're going to have to pay for some out of pocket. And I just don't understand who has the right to say what's going to be covered and what's not. An insurance company does not have that, shouldn't have that ability to tell you what healthcare you've got to pay for and what they're going to cover. There are a couple of things though that I think are quite good about here in the US. When I phone to get an appointment with our doctor, I get an appointment straight away. I don't think I've ever had to wait more than a week for an appointment at the doctor. I've never had a problem getting through. The phones are always answered at whatever time I call, and I get an appointment. And secondly, when I've been referred recently to a medical specialist, and it was quick. I was referred one Friday, and by the following Friday I had an appointment for the next Tuesday. That's amazing. I don't know if you'd get it that quick on the NHS. So in that respect, the healthcare system here is pretty awesome. You get seen, you get referred, and then you just get seen, and it's quick. And then there's prescription costs. I've had prescriptions here that are covered under our insurance, and I've not had to pay anything. And I've had prescriptions where I've had to pay a little bit more to cover. So the insurance paid some and I paid some, and I think that's how it works. I think the prescription has its own deductible amount within your healthcare throughout the year. Not as cheap as the UK, but sometimes it is. For example, a recent medication that I was given on prescription, our insurance covered most of the costs, and I paid $4 out of pocket. So about £2 to £3, pretty cheap. And in the NHS, is it about £9 at the moment? Maybe 10 probably by now. But that's a set amount, isn't it, for your prescription? But I think here it can fluctuate a bit more depending on the drug that you're getting. I paid prescription costs over $50. That's a lot of money for medication that's only going to last a week. And I know it sounds like I'm pretty negative about the healthcare system here in the US, and in general, I don't like it. I don't like having to pay, particularly when you're used to the NHS, and not having to pay anything out of pocket for any visits that you do for seeing the doctors or any hospital. I understand that the NHS is paid through taxpayers, and I was a taxpayer in the UK, so ultimately I was paying for healthcare, but not in the same way as it is here. So I'll leave it there for now. That's just my thoughts on the US healthcare system. I'm sure as I've been here 2.5 years, and I'm sure as I go along I'll learn a little bit more. But they are my experiences. Travel insurance, I paid my deductible and everything else was covered, and I did not have to pay anything at the time of the service. Having no healthcare, we now have a bill and we'll be paying that back. And then having insurance. I don't like having to pay out of pocket every time you go to see the doctor, not knowing how much is going to be covered necessarily through your insurance system. But I do like that you can see a doctor when you want to see a doctor. And from my experience, the referrals have gone through fairly quickly. So thumbs up for getting quick doctor's appointments here in the US, or thumbs up the NHS back in the UK. Thanks for watching. Be sure to click the subscribe button. We post new videos on Mondays and Fridays. And join us for this expat journey and our married life. And we'll see you in our next video. Bye.